Hello and welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. For a second there, I accidentally had us showing. I don't know if you caught that, but anyway, welcome to Painting Happy Little Minis. My name is Leona. I'm one of the editors here at Gabe Trade Media, and today we are doing Hobby Hangout with Dave Taylor and Gretchen Settle, hosts of Painting Happy Little Minis. Woo! Woo! Welcome. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, all, to those on stream watching us. Good evening, Dave. Good evening, Gretchen.
Good evening. I'm going to jump in quickly and say that the music that was playing, like before our Painting Happy Little Minis intro, the one that's just there with the blank screen, and that was so dramatic.
It is. We never get to hear it.
No, it felt like I was in the middle of a Conan movie.
Yeah. I found it like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I'm going to include this. This is amazing. I'm never not going to include this. So welcome to everyone in the chat, those of you who are watching. If you are new around here, or even if you're old, grab your minis, grab your paints. It's time to have some fun and talk about mini painting and all the stuff involved with that. So that's what we're going to do. Real quick, I want to say hi to people in the chat to let us know that you're watching and joining us on this fine Thursday. In Maryland, at least, it's warm.
It is. It looks like it's going to thunderstorm. I don't know how accurate my forecast is.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's going to storm.
Yeah. Hello to Chris Cox. Thank you for joining. Hello to Sumkey and Jason. Jason says, so I realized that if Jave changes his hair, his shirts won't make any more sense.
Yep. That's totally fair. When I added that piece to the logo, kind of the branding, my friend Tim, who helped me with that, said, if you need to change your hairstyle, like, it's not going to make any sense.
That's called commitment.
I committed to this hairstyle like 20 years ago, All
There you go.
It ain't going anywhere.
This hair is here to stay.
I go to the barber. They say, "How would you like it?" I say, "Number one, back and sides, high and tight, leave about half an inch on top, and into the front." And they're like, "Done."
And they're like, burr, burr, burr.
I wish it was that easy when I went to the hairdresser. I'm like, trim it, please. And they're like, I have a vision.
I would agree with that. I don't know if that's just like barber, like female hairdressers, or maybe not, or just people who cut long hair. I'm not sure, but people think that there's a vision.
I think part of it too
My
is
my mother is female, but she has never said
that there's a vision.
there's a vision.
Okay.
I think it's because I have like curly wavy hair. I don't think people know how to actually work with curly wavy hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't mean like female hair barbers. I meant people who cut like if you have long hair. If you are the long hair cutter, if you have the long hair and you're getting it cut, the cutter has a vision that they love to see. It's good stuff.
I see.
Hello to James. Hello to JT. Hello to Chris Cox. Wait, didn't I already say hi to you? Yes. Hello to JT again. It's very cinematic. Our music is. Hello to Mark. Thanks for joining. Hello to Roger Moore. Trevor, thanks for joining as well. Painting 170, what?
172nd Vikings.
172nd Vikings today.
So that's like 20 millimeter.
Oh.
So about 2/3 the size of like standard minis. When I say standard minis, I mean 28 mm minis, of course.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
nice. And also hello to Jeff.
Excellent.
Thank you all for joining. Let us know what you all are painting in the chat. If you're painting with us, yep. Trevor says yes, about 20 millimeters.
Yep.
Be sure to share this stream with your friends if they're interested in mini painting. We always love to have new faces, new people. I see some new people in the chat. It's very nice.
I love when we have new people in the chat.
We have a good time. We mini paint together. Dave, what are you planning on painting this week?
I am painting some Death Guard Plague Marines. Plague Marines from Games Workshop for Warhammer 40,000.
Is that the picture that you sent me?
I sent you one with a whole bunch of undercoated guys.
Yes.
Primer coat? Yep. So if you've got that one, show that.
I'm not going to lie. I had never heard it called an undercoat before.
I'm Australian, so.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in America here, it would be a primer coat.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, these guys here are all from the Games Workshop Space Marine Heroes, Season 3 or Series 3. These are all Death Guard. And I'm doing these on commission for the same client that I did the trolls for last week.
Oh, nice.
For Brian, before I have already painted him many thousands of plates of Death Guard. So when he got these, he was like, "Hey, I finally got them. Can you paint them up for me? Throw them all in. Put them all in the box."
Since you're already sending me some, might as well paint them all.
Yeah. Trolls and Death Guard. Go for it. So,
good.
So that's good.
So that's what you are working on tonight.
Yeah, I'm not going to paint all of them, but I will have. I've got some different stages along the way to show you how I would
leave it.
Okay, cool. We're excited. When Gretchen said leave it, thought you were talking to me.
Oh, sorry.
But I realized you were talking to your dog or your cat.
He was gonna get in trouble. I remembered to mute it earlier when he was scratching. That was actually the dog. He was getting ready to bark.
Aww.
The good news is that he listens very well if I can actually catch him before he barks.
Right.
He just kind of comes over and is like, okay, I guess I'll leave it alone.
That's fair.
Excellent.
That is fair. So Gretchen, did you want me to show you the pictures?
Yeah, do that. That's what I have.
Because is that what you're going to work on this week? Nice.
So I'm hopefully gonna finish up getting all the base colors all done on this entire thing, because the only thing left is basically his bracers and his shin protection and his the finishing up his axe and a few little tiny details, but getting all those base colors down. And so then it should be just a matter of going back and picking out the things I want to make more detailed.
Cool. And for reference, for those of you who might know, this is the Epic Encounters Frost Giant from Steamforged Games. And Gretchen has been painting this over the course of like 2 weeks at this point.
You say that, but really it's like
2 episodes, sorry.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
2 episodes, that's what I meant. 2 episodes, more than in between 2 weeks. It was kind of like my 5-month dragon. Like I wasn't painting him.
I've only been painting him on the show. So this guy has about 4 hours of work on him.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah, no, it's flying by. The first time I focused on his skin. The second time I focused on trying to get all of his clothing, and then got sidetracked by that deer. That's Calcifer. Who looks so disappointed in me. I had to send the picture to.
He's like, he's not done.
Judgment there.
Why are you not finished?
That's the face looking at me every time I film hobby hangouts.
Aww.
Just right on the other side. And that's the face he gives me when he just destroys things and knocks things down.
Nice.
Just mutual face of displeasure and disappointment.
Fantastic.
So yeah, I can see like, is this beard painted at all? Or?
Yes, that beard is painted a dark brown.
Okay.
And then it has some lighter brown highlights picked out.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna add, when I go back through and everything's done and the little bits that I want more detailed and more focus on are pulled out of the kind of the overall paint job. When I go back through to add all the frost, I'm going to add quite a bit in the beard there. I'm trying to be light-handed in how much detail I initially put on, because when I do start to pick out the things that I want more detail on, I don't want it to be so busy that the eye doesn't know where to go.
Oh, that's fair.
So right now everything's just kind of flat. The only things that have really been done up a whole lot is the frostbitten skin and the deer, because I did want to have more detail on that deer just to break up.
Yeah, I'll share that again.
Yeah, to break up the monotony of all of those furs and everything. I didn't want it to blend into those. So
I like how he's speckled.
That's Bambi's mother, isn't it?
Maybe. Quite possibly. I don't think she had antlers, but that's fine.
Okay. Bambi's father?
The Great Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cool. Oh, also Sumkey says too soon, Dave.
It's always too soon. What are you talking about?
Also, jumping back into the chat a little ways, Roger Moore says he's back to Monumental, done with his Imperial Assault.
Cool.
Yeah. Very nice. We love the old people in the chat. Hello to old people in the chat. Thank you.
As an old person in the chat, I identify with that comment. It's like your comment, not some piece.
Right.
I don't
right.
feel good. I feel love.
JT has been painting between projects right now, finished up the latest Mechanicus commission, and will probably continue with my Ether Fields this weekend.
Cool.
Nice.
Very good.
Also, hello to Richmond. Thank you for joining.
Mm-hmm.
And Jason finished my second Tabaxi Rogue and taking it easy with Polar Bear from WizKids. Wow, it's a good time here in the reading world. While that Hydra keeps taunting me.
Nice.
I actually played a Tabaxi Rogue. No, not Rogue. A Tabaxi Monk. They're like cat people, and my cat person was a monk, and it was great because they just punched.
Just punch everything.
And because I was a tabaxi, I could like walk up walls and climb everything because like they're kind of like their not ability. Yeah, their extra ability because of their cat person. You can like see in the dark and climb, which is great when you're a monk because then you can climb and also punch.
Did your game master like ever deliberately let you know that there was something sitting near the edge of a table? And did you feel constantly compelled to like?
Yeah, there was like basically anytime I could like touch or like push open a door, we were walking through a dungeon, so I constantly was like, I need to push the doors open. It was great.
Do you ever have a moment where you're like, we should go through this door, we should go through this door, we should go through this door, and as soon as you get through the door, you're just like, guys, I think we should just leave?
Yeah, no, that was, there was once where the DM was so annoyed that I like opened every door in this stupid dungeon. He put all these goblins that were just like really annoying.
Yep.
And we had to fight them. It was a good time.
Fantastic.
You were like, no. Also, hello to James. Thanks for joining. And hello to David. Good day. Also, Jason says that looks really nice, Gretchen, which I agree. It does look nice. Also, hello to Sean. Thanks for joining.
I'm hoping that for as long as this takes me to paint, my patience will yield nice results.
Yeah, I think so. David says what we should guess what you're working on.
Sorry, I think David is working on Space Marines. That's my number one guess. My second guess would be Space Marines, and we'll back that up with some Imperial Space Marines.
Space Marines.
Space Marines.
Space Marines.
Oh, Sean is working on his Warbringer Titan and assembling his War Master Titan.
Woo!
So the War Master is the new Titan for Adeptus Titanicus, which is 8mm scale.
Okay.
So imagine like a quarter the size of the standard Games Workshop stuff.
Oh wow!
So I think the War Master Titan is something like this sort of size. It's not this model, but it's this sort of size. So I am excited to see a whole bunch of those starting to pop up in my feed.
Very cool. We'd like to even see some work in progress shots, Sean.
Definitely.
As you work on it. Also, we were correct. Good job, Dave.
We were correct, you say.
I gave you the thought power.
It was a team effort, yes.
I was giving you the bing. Gretchen and I were combining our psychic strength.
Yes.
And helping you, Dave.
I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
Great job.
That's what I do here. It's all about the psychic strength.
That's your one job, Leona.
It is.
Very cool.
Also, hello to Brad. Thanks for joining. Been painting up some Gondor. I've finished 100 this month. Still working on them.
That's so many. Why?
Gondor does have a fairly basic color scheme, black and silver. But
gotcha.
That 100 black and silver guys still takes a long time to do. So it's super impressive there, Brad. That's awesome.
Yeah, congrats on painting that all up. That's awesome.
Excellent.
James says, I'm almost done with Black Beauty and have 2 more on the way.
Excellent.
Super cool.
The boat that James has been working on.
Nice.
And
all those minis will be Gondor before you know it. Especially at the Battle of Osgiliath. Now that's too soon.
It is. Tragically far too soon.
You know you're a nerd when... Well, actually, the other day, this isn't related to minis, but it's related to the Lord of the Rings.
Which it comes in mini form, Matt.
Which does.
It's a circle.
Someone told me that you're not a real Lord of the Rings nerd if you haven't read the Silmarillion, and I was like, well, I think you can be because I haven't.
I haven't. I never had access to it as like a child. I had my book.
I don't want to read the Silmarillion.
Like, I feel like anyone who like threatens my Lord of the Rings nerd cred because I don't have encyclopedic knowledge of it at any point in time is like, I always am like, well, you know what? I read the books when I was 12 and someone stole the final book from me.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, I'm salty about this. I am, for the rest of my life, I'll be salty. I have not finished the series specifically. So
go to the library.
Well, I had all 3 books.
Right.
And I just was just reading through them at the power of light, speed of light, speed of sound, whatever. I was excited about these books. Right. And it was right before the movies were coming out. So I was like, yes. And like the covers had all the actors on the covers.
Oh.
So I forget who was on. I think it was Frodo on book 1 and Legolas on book 2 and Aragorn on book 3.
You'd have to be Return of the King.
Yep. And I was on the right before the last chapter when the hobbits returned to the Shire. Yeah, no, I hadn't even it was the very last chapter of that book. And during lunchtime, someone stole my book because Aragorn was on the cover and they liked Viggo Mortensen. Yep. And I never got it back. And I was so salty. I didn't know that the hobbits went back to the Shire and there was a battle. And then I really didn't know because it never happened in the movies.
Yeah.
So then I was in
they kind of kept that.
I was in college and we were talking about things that were different between the books and the movies. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm someone who liked the Tom Bombadil chapter. So I was just like, Tom Bombadil. And they're like, what about the Hobbit battle?
And you were like, what battle?
The Scouring of the Shire. Yeah.
I missed a whole battle?
Yep.
Because a hormonal 12-year-old thought my book was hot.
They probably ripped the cover off.
Yep.
To this day, I am so salty.
That's fair. To be fair, I'm also salty about like someone taking my book. So like at first, I can't, you know, judge you because I have a similar story, not about Lord of the Rings, but
someone stole one of your books. Why are people out stealing books? Who does that? But anyways, my argument is not that I am a nerd because of that entirely, but that 1, I was nerdy enough to read it at 12, and 2, someone out there is the true nerd because they stole a book from me.
Yeah.
Some 12-year-old is the rightful King Lord of the Rings nerd.
That's true.
They probably still have a taped picture of Aragorn on their journal.
Don't we all? No, just me. Okay.
I keep it in a locket.
Fantastic. An elven maid locket, no doubt.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Every time I go to swords practice, I just... Yeah.
Was that your gift from Galadriel?
It's my gift.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
I tried to read the Silmarillion when I was probably about 12 or 13. And
And that was that.
Yeah. I think I made it like 10 pages in. And I was like, I really should have bought a different book. really should have. But,
oh, you know what I did read, though? I read the first book of The Expanse.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh.
So now I'm up on season 1.
Awesome. Very cool.
Woo!
Yay!
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot. A lot happened in that book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness. But it was good.
Well, certainly a lot happened in the show. It's good to know that also a lot happened in the book.
Yeah, like it's like you're running around Things are blowing up.
Mark Silmarillion was like reading the first part of the Bible. All I remember them naming who is related to who, so and so, son of so. That's why I had my fiance give me the Cliff Notes version on who is related to who. And now I have the knowledge, but I did not have to seek it.
Right.
Excellent.
Honestly, that's a similar. My brother read it, and he also read like all of the other stuff, appendices.
Yeah.
I have
And
some
so
of the appendices.
If you have any questions, you just ask him, and I'm like, cool.
I love all the lore. I just don't. I also like the lore in like easily receivable formatting.
Yeah.
I like to see family trees so that I can actually remember them.
That's cool. The hobbits go back to the Shire. Spoilers.
It's been like what 80 years?
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that they're in the movie.
Yeah.
The King. The Return of the King had like 5 endings.
Oh, I love it.
It had
It's
like
so
5
amazing.
cinematic endings. It could have like ended at any one of those after any one of those things, but none of them were the Scouring of the Shire.
But they hint at the Scouring of the Shire whenever with looking into like the pool and everything. You see like hints of it.
He sees what will come to pass.
Yeah, but not like it never goes
But not
back.
really.
Well, that's
It's all good.
I think they actually filmed all of it. They filmed
Really?
And yet we didn't get all of it. And that's a
Yeah.
problem. The extended editions should have extended further. We need an extended
7-hour movie.
Now that you think this is all over, we've just got a little bit more. And a little bit more.
And a little bit more. And a little bit more.
You know what?
Honestly, rewatching the endings was really funny. Because it really is like, oh, it's over. Fade to black.
No, it's not.
Fade back.
Yeah.
It's so good. No.
It's pretty crazy.
Super
Crazy.
hard.
It seems like that based on your story, Gretchen, it's raised a few salty memories for a few other people. For someone stole my Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe book. I refused to finish it after that. Sean Gleason in kindergarten, somebody stole my R2-D2 figure from my backpack. Boo. I thought somebody had stolen a Jawa figure at one point. And then like 6 months later, my dad found it hanging in a bush that like just off our veranda.
Oh gosh.
Fallen over the edge one day, and I hadn't noticed that it had fallen and just got hung up.
I always joke when my friends are like, why don't you just read it now? And I'm like, well, first of all, if I'm going to spend the money, I want to spend the money on hardback, like leather-bound, nice versions of the Lord of the Rings books. Because if I'm going to do it, then I'm gonna go all the way nerdy and do that. Which then someone would probably steal, but it's fine. And 2, I like to use it as my excuse for any time I do something even remotely dangerous or where someone's like, that's a bad idea. I'm like, no, I can't die. I haven't finished reading the last.
Oh, that's funny. I like that. That's actually really good.
I can't. And so like, I'll be like 90 and everyone will be like, oh, Gretchen, you're getting old. And I'll be like,
it's time.
It is time. No, I'll read it at 100. I'll be like on my deathbed and I'll like, bring me the last Lord of the Rings book.
No, read it on your 11th birthday.
I can make it. Oh, goals. Man.
That actually, and it's like now, yeah. And
now
after
we have the technology. Really. It's like this decrepitly old person sitting in the nursing home, like writing out instructions.
I would like to read the final chapter of The Lord of the Rings. That was never.
Someone would have to read it to me.
That was only ever a movie. You're misremembering it.
I'd be so sad.
That would be.
Why are we reading this really old book to this really old lady?
Yeah, Jeff said, I refuse to lend books out anymore. It seems like they are the last things people think to return or come back ruined. To be fair, I'm that person. Someone lends me a book, and not that I ruin it.
No.
I don't ruin the book. It's just that I forget to give it back. So like I have books that I don't talk to these people anymore, and I still have their
I, for the most part, have always given books back. There's been a few times where like both of us just keep forgetting, so I end up having it for like a year. But
Yeah.
it usually makes its way back.
Trevor says, I will type the last chapter into the chat, 1 word per episode. That's incredible.
Awesome.
Finally, I can rest in peace.
Trevor,
I've been a ghost this whole time.
I'm here to read those.
I just spiritually ascend like Jedi Knight.
You do the Star Wars just like fade. That's awesome.
Yep. When you said that you haven't read it, I was like, I keep getting this email saying you've got $50 in Audible. I'm like, radio, Return of the King. Send it to Gretchen's way.
I don't actually like audiobooks very much. I'm not fond of them.
What you like or don't like. I'm sorry.
Oh, there we go. Trevor put it. And the thing is, it's only 1 word per episode, so stay tuned next week, guys. We're going to get the second word.
It's going to be, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It's like, that's not the book. Fantastic.
Yes, I am stealing books. It's a good time.
I get to see your MO. You're like, oh, that book looks really good. What is it? And they're like, oh yeah. I'm like 2/3 of the way through it. Could I borrow it now? And you run away going,
little did they know it was my plan all along. Yeah, JT said, I have a long commute to work, so audiobooks are my life. And I would agree with that. Like when I was commuting more often into the office, that's really when audiobooks were super nice.
I have a hard time focusing on them. And I don't always process what is being said.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I'm the type of person where I have subtitles on the TV. So audiobooks just don't really work for me in that manner. I'll always like keep going back being like, what was said? What was said?
That's fair.
That is fair.
When I lived in Sydney, I had like between an hour and 10, an hour and a half commute.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so I read a lot of books then, but that was on a train.
Okay.
I was commuting on a train, so it was very easy to read the books. I wasn't reading while driving. Because when I moved here, I had like a 15-minute commute in a car, so I couldn't read. So my reading over the last 20 years has really dropped off. It's like,
I read more than I think I read. I haven't really read like a large novel, but I do read a bunch of short stuff.
Dave said, I read less.
I read less than I think I read. Yeah.
That's funny. I definitely read a lot.
James says, I hate text. Pictures are where it's at.
Picture books are good.
I think so.
I enjoy comics. I enjoy comics a lot.
Cool. Yeah. I think I'm just going to very quickly show folks what I'm working on. So
sure.
We saw the my mind's going blank. The Death Guard figurines. That's the primer coat version.
Right.
All right. So with that, then the first thing I've done with them is I've gone over all of the armor with a Seraphim sepia wash.
Oh, okay, nice.
So basically, any of those parts that is an armor plate, except for the shoulder pads, they get a different color. But yep, so I get that, and then that armor gets painted with Vallejo ivory. So you can see where I've gone back and painted that and added it. And some of these have sort of like a nice kind of pleat down their legs, kind of an angle on the armor. So I can highlight up to a certain point, and I can leave other parts in shadow.
Right.
So it just adds a little bit extra depth there.
Cool.
So that's where I've got those three too. Then the rest of them I've done the Seraphim Sepia and the Ivory stage. And now I'm up to the point where I've just finished painting the shoulder pads, where I left the green on the shoulder pads.
Nice.
Um,
Is that a black wash in the corner?
No, I started with a mix of black and P3 coal black.
Oh, okay.
I've mentioned coal black a number of times before, but it's got this. It's a nice sort of bluish green, very
Cool.
dark bluish green. So starting with that, mixing in some Citadel Lauren Forest, which is a very desaturated green, kind of a desaturated mid green, quite a bit of gray in there, and then mixing in some moot green, which is nice and sort of very saturated bright green, almost neon green, to get towards the highlight stage, but I haven't taken the highlights up too far.
Okay.
Kept them sort of still fairly subtle. You see that there on the knee pad.
Yeah. Looks nice.
So my next stage for that is for these is to go through and paint everything else black. All of the cloak, the chains, the weapons, that sort of thing. The little Nurgling that's up the top there.
Yeah.
Here, and the bottom will end up sort of being pinkish, so I'll paint them last.
Okay, cool.
Once I paint everything else, but yeah. So I'll probably focus on this guy for the rest of the evening.
Nice.
You want to do some of those?
So the only color is the green.
At the moment, the only color is the green. This cloak, for example, and I think there's a little bit of cloth behind the chains on the front there. Will be a purple.
Okay.
So I'll start with a deep bluish purple. I'll use the hex lichen color. This one.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll mix in a little bit of that warlord purple that we used in the 5-color challenge.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Highlighting that up. But yeah, and this guy's I might be able to see it there, but so yeah, on his chest plate. Oh, there we go. He's got those are teeth. So he's basically his armor kind of opens up and
there's a mouth there.
Yeah. So that'll get a little bit of like a pinkish look around it. And,
gotcha.
But yeah, should be good. And then there'll be some silver, and there'll be some like tarnished bronze kind of
Okay.
around the shoulder pads, the edges of the shoulder pads.
Looking forward to it. Those guys look nice.
Don't think I'll get it all done tonight, but we'll see where we go.
Extra encouragement for Dave in the chat so that he can get it done all tonight.
We'll see.
If people, if people chat a lot, then you'll work harder. That's just the equation. It's how it works.
Cool.
It's how it works.
Excellent.
Gretchen, did you want to give us a little update on where your guys at?
So, not that you can see because it's dark. His bracers now have color on them. So I'm going to go through and all the fur on his shin and ankle, I'm going to go ahead and block that in. It's made up of bear skins or wolf skins, some kind of creature skins. On the bottom, you can see like their heads. So I'm going to go through, and since he is frosty, they're going to be cream with white highlights because snow. And then I'm going to go through and fill in all the colors for all of the little pieces of weaponry, and I'll probably do kind of maroon rope just to have some kind of color that stands out a little bit better than tan.
Okay.
And it'll kind of tie in to the maroon on his cloak and the maroon in some of the threading on the leather on his skirt.
Okay.
So that that's coming along nicely and a lot quicker than I thought it was.
Gotcha.
So hopefully, maybe before the end of today's show, I can actually have everything blocked in.
Ooh,
So that
that'd
would be
nice.
Awesome.
Lucafio says, try the Drifting Lands books. There are only 2 in the series for now, and you can always call me later if you have any questions. I think I've read the first book in that series.
How would you paint the white fur, Gretchen?
So what I'm doing for the fur, since I don't want it to blend into the snow effects later, is I am going through with bone white because it is more of a creamy color. And then I am going to, once I decide if these are wolves or if these are bears, I'll probably do a little bit of blending with gray, just on the tips of that fur, much like, I don't know if you've ever seen like huskies or wolves that have that cream color with a little bit of gray at like the top.
Oh, yeah.
And then go through and highlight with ivory. So I won't be using a true white for anything, but it should have a white effect for the fur, and it should have enough difference in tone to make that fur look really lush, especially if I do dry brushing to blend in that little bit of gray. That way, when I go back through with my snow,
Yay!
it's going to be like pristine white, much like how snow actually is. So it should really, really stand out and make everything seem nice and fun and frosty.
And look good. Cool. Cool.
Excellent.
Nice.
That's good.
I'm working on my little guy here. He's not going to show up well.
All right.
But I do have a picture of him.
Excellent.
His name is Arkin the Terrible or something. Arkin the Great.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Go with Arkin the Great.
Arkin the Great.
Arkin the Magnificently Painted.
And basically last week I just painted some flat colors, and this week I put like a wash over top of all this armor. And I'm realizing I'm kind of lacking inspiration on what to do next. I don't know.
Could you zoom in on him a little bit?
Yes. Is that too much?
No.
Oh, now you really get to see my bad painting.
So, what's your plan with the armor?
Well, right now I put a black wash over top of him, over top of all the armor.
Yeah.
Just because it's honestly like 2 different colored grays.
Right.
And I just kind of wanted to dull it down a little bit, since this is actually still part of the 5-color challenge.
Right. Okay.
So that's why I haven't gone with like a silver or metallic.
Yep.
For this.
Okay.
Yeah.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes, please.
Okay. So see let's take it for his example, his left leg.
Yes.
So in that area where so the leg that's on the right in the picture, his model's left leg.
Okay.
So yeah, that one. So where his knee is just above that.
Okay.
So see that where that armor plate comes down and sort of tucks behind the knee.
Right.
His knee plate. As it gets lower down there, if you get some more of that, like a thin black or a very dark gray, maybe with just a touch of blue in it.
Okay.
And push that into the shadows.
Okay.
And when I say push that into the shadows, I mean like paint it into that shadow area and then just sort of feather it out by mixing in your lighter gray.
Right.
That will add to the contrast there. And then if you go up to an almost white along the top of those armor plate ridge lines, yeah,
Oh.
that'll really pop that contrast for you.
Yay! That's what I'll do now.
If you're trying to do like non-metallic metal, contrast is the most important thing.
Okay.
That the contrast between running from black to white, but yeah, mixing a little bit of blue in will be sort of almost reflecting the blue of the
cloak. Which I went over again, so it's not like streaky and everything.
Right.
But yeah, Sean says to paint it like Thor's armor.
Yep.
That sounds very difficult.
Nice.
Also, hello, Genghis.
Yep, Genghis. Yeah, Chenghis. Yeah, it could be Chenghis.
Chenghis.
That's how it,
Galahad.
Galahad.
I like the idea of wolf bears. Makes me think of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes, I would. Yes. I would agree with that.
Cool.
So, Dave, did you want to talk about your little side project? No, we talked about it last week.
The little main project.
Little main project?
Yeah, for sure. I'll do that. Hang on a sec. There we go. I'm just going to mute myself for a second so I can cough.
Oh, okay. No problem.
And there we go. Yes, apologies. I had my second shot of the Pfizer vaccine on Tuesday, and I think so yesterday I was a bit sleepy and a little bit achy, but today I feel fine from the shot, but my allergies have come back.
Okay.
So, and I'm sniffling and coughing, which is all from orange pollen.
I've been taking double allergy medicine, not gonna lie.
I bought honey.
Oh, like raw honey?
Yeah, honey from a local apiary. So it's made with all of the pollen
Nice.
that usually makes you sick and gives you antibodies.
I've done that before, but my allergies are so bad it doesn't matter. I will chug the honey and I'm just like
So there is only one plant. I don't know what plant, but Facebook reminds me that I have consistently only had miserable allergies for the same week in May every year.
Oh, okay.
So I get a little bit tickly nosed and runny eyed in the morning, but usually other than that I'm fine. And then every May during this 1 week, I don't know what it is in Maryland that blooms, because it didn't happen in Louisiana and it didn't happen one year whenever I went to Virginia during that 1 week. But the 1 week in Maryland, I'm just allergic to something.
Gotcha.
Nice. Excellent. But yes, so I'm not coughing now, which is good. But yes, Leona mentioned the project. So Dave Taylor Miniatures, which is my company, surprisingly enough, is I'm about to. I've already published 2 books previously. One called Armies, Legions, and Hordes that I wrote, and I published one that was written by Mel Bowes, the terrain tutor, and that was called Terrain Essentials, which both of them are available now through Alliance Games. And tomorrow, at noon tomorrow, so whatever that is, 17 hours away. Not that I'm counting or anything.
He's counting everybody.
Yeah. Actually, it's almost 16 hours, 11 minutes. I get to press the button to launch the next project. So, who's walking behind your computer?
That would be the dog.
Okay.
And the fiance. I'll mute for a hot second.
But yes, so I'm launching a new Kickstarter project tomorrow for to create a series of books called The Art Of, which is all about finding wonderful miniature artists around the globe that do things that I think are amazing with miniatures art. So Leona's got some fun pictures here. So this is the volume 1 is Miniature Monthly. So it's the Miniature Monthly team. They have a Patreon. They do video tutorials for all sorts of painting. But it's a team of 3 people. It's Aaron Lovejoy, Elizabeth Beckley and Matt DiPietro, who are all fantastic painters and lovely people, they each have a different, slightly different, well, they each have a different approach to miniature painting. They tackle things differently. They have favorite things to work on. And the first, so volume 1, we covering them and their works and what they're focused on and the things that drive them in miniature painting, which is super cool. And is they going to have the second picture?
I do.
Woo! Check that out. So volume 2 is the Art of Christoph Kiel. Christoph does a lot of fantastic sort of grimdark conversion kit bashing work. He's very big in the Inquisitor 28 community. So those folks who like to sort of explore the grimdark corners of the miniatures sort of world, or the Warhammer worlds, really. And his kit bashing and conversions. I mean, I love conversions and I love kit bashing and throwing things together. Christoph's work is really wonderful because it's very seamless. He puts models together and you think, well, that's always been a model, right? No, that's been assembled from like 5 different kits. So,
wow, I didn't realize that about his models.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm thinking they all look. They're just pre-made, like that's how they were.
So they came
packaged.
No.
Yeah.
Wow,
that's really cool.
Yeah, so it is definitely super cool. So we're going to take a look at that. I mean, Christoph also does. He's been doing a bunch of great sculpting recently. He does. Has a very specific. Well, maybe not specific. But he has a very interesting painting style as well. And he also does things like I've said it before. I don't really experiment with my painting. I'm at a level where I'm really happy with how it's going, so I paint to that level, kind of thing. But he does a lot of experimenting, and he did a great exercise, which was he looked at the artwork of 2D artists like John Blanche is a big one. He does a lot of concept work for Games Workshop, and Paul Bonner does a lot of fantastic fantasy art.
Okay.
And, Frank Frazetta, no doubt everybody's heard of Frank Frazetta. Has some very classic fantasy art pieces.
Right.
Christoph went along and studied the way that they painted blacks in their art and translated that onto like Space Marines. And Frank Frazetta. Here's a Space Marine done in the style of Paul Bonner. Here's a Space Marine done in the style of John Blanche. And so it's things like that. So there's really interesting work that he gets into.
Very cool.
Yeah, very excited about that as well.
And then the last one,
volume 3.
Volume 3.
Yeah.
Not last. Hopefully.
The third in the series.
Yes.
Is Anna Polanchuk from Croatia. Anna also explores a lot of the dark corners of various worlds, but she does a lot of world building stuff. So a lot of very atmospheric, dark, macabre kind of world building pieces. And she does some awesome work putting together campaigns for gaming within those worlds. And some fantastic conversions. And she also has a very distinct painting style. So I'm really excited to see the kinds of things that kind of puts into this book. But I think the focus here is going to be on that world building and that creating things that flesh out the world to give you that real lived-in kind of deal.
Right.
So this one's definitely a blend of like the miniature painting and the terrain and the gaming sort of aspects of it. So
cool.
Very cool. I loved Anna's work for probably the last decade. There's so much cool stuff that she does.
Very cool.
So those 3 books, they're being written at the moment by those artists. I think I'm going to say each book's probably about a third of the way through.
Okay.
Being written.
Nice.
Which is great. We've got some updates from them this week, which was very cool to see where everybody was at. And tomorrow Kickstarter goes live. You can jump in and pledge for 1, 2, or all 3 of those books. And as we said, that volume 3 isn't the last one. I'm hoping that things are going to go really well, and I'll be able to put together a campaign for next year for books 4, 5, and 6.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah. So definitely very cool and exciting stuff.
If people are interested in following along or just learning more about the project, I'm putting the link in the chat to the Kickstarter page.
Cool.
So make sure you can share with your friends if you think they would be interested, or again, just see what's going on with the project. Obviously, back if you're interested. It's going live tomorrow. So
at noon Eastern Summer Time.
Woo!
Yeah. So that'll
be fun.
5 p.m. for folks like Roger.
Yes.
And I think, I don't know, because Dave's in Arizona. So I don't know if I don't think they have daylight saving time.
They don't.
It's like 9 or 10 a.m. tomorrow for you, Dave.
Wake up early. Start a good start to your morning breakfast is backing a Kickstarter.
For sure. So yeah, it's going to be very exciting to see how that goes, and do my life for the next 3 weeks.
But it'll be nice.
It will be good
and good. Copy, David says copy.
Excellent.
Good.
Very cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. It will be good.
9 a.m. in California. Yep. Set your alarms. No, but if you're not part of our Facebook group, make sure you go join Painting Happy Little Minis. That's where we'll post some more information, and be sure to just follow the page on Kickstarter. That's probably the best way to know just what's going on with the campaign, and if you want to hold off to see if it gets funded and then join. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Be a friend.
Yeah, it's interesting. Kickstarter has started to put up information now on Kickstarter pages. So just below the header image or the video, that reminds people that you can pledge now, and if it doesn't fund, you don't get charged.
Oh.
So there are a lot of people who think, as soon as I pledge, that's when I get charged. No, you don't get charged until the end.
Yeah.
Once it's funded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's always good to if you see something you like, pledge and tell all your friends about it. And if it gets funded, great. You've helped bring it to life. If it doesn't get funded, you tried.
You tried.
You helped.
You tried to help.
Yeah. But so super cool. I am incredibly nervous.
Oh,
You'll be fine.
Thank you.
It's gonna do great.
Yeah, I'm really hoping it does. Not only are these 5 artists fantastic, I think as well that the number of there's so many. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was like, "Yeah, I want to keep doing this for ages," and that ended up 100 different books. And it's like, I might have to pick up production at some point. 3 a year. That's it'll take me 30 years.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'll be at the reading the last chapter of Lord of the Rings by that point. All good. I don't want to work forever.
Yeah.
But at some point I'm going to realize that I do actually. I do want to, as long as the work is fun, I do want to work. But yeah.
No, yeah, I'm super excited about those.
Yeah.
They will be fun.
Very cool. Yes. Excellent. But speaking of cool miniatures painted by other people.
Dun dun dun.
Do we have some to look at?
We do.
So that's what I love to do.
So just so you guys know, we look at minis each week. And this week, 9 a.m. no problem, usually up for 3 a.m. for work. Oh, wow. Wow. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say. People post to the forums, I collect them, and then we talk about them on the show, which is what we're going to do right now.
Excellent.
So first we have Brian. He painted up Baron Zemo by Simon.
All right.
For this mini's by Simon, but it's for the Marvel's United or...
Yep. Marvel United.
Yeah, Marvel United.
Game. Yeah, a lot of those sort of the chibi miniatures from that game have been really cool looking. And I think, as I said, I haven't watched The Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet.
Yeah, we all still don't know who Baron Zemo is.
Yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. And you know what? By the time we get to watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, all the movies will be out. The new season of The Witcher will be out. And then we can, we can be behind on a different series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Brian's done a great job on this, and I really like it. Really love the depth in his in that red cow hood.
I agree. I also really like the purple color. Here, I'm going to zoom in on it. Because someone painted one from last week, or like 2 weeks ago, someone painted Baron Zemo from
Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he didn't have his like suit on, and I just really like the way that they did the purple.
It does look cool.
Zooming it up on it, you can see that it's not like every stroke is like super fine detail, but I actually think it really works for like the comic book overall like feel.
Oh yeah.
The splotchiness of the colors. I really, really like that.
Yeah. I gotta admit, while I'm painting here, it's been a while since I painted those other Death Guard for my friend Brian. So I have been pulling up the photos that I took of the miniatures that I painted, and when I zoom in on those, I'm like, oh.
Minis aren't meant to be zoomed in on.
Yeah, I'll put these onto the small screen.
I actually think it looks very almost cell shady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that. Apparently Zemo was in Captain America Civil War, which I have seen, but like, lordy, I do not remember that character.
I think I remember the actor being in there. Like,
okay.
Plays him, and obviously then it would have been him playing the same character, but I don't remember how he participated in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to go back to.
Great job. Really enjoying it. He didn't wear that suit in the movie. Okay. I'm pretty sure he just wore like normal clothes. That's why sometimes, anyway, whatever. Chris with Cassander by Privateer Press. This is for Monster Apocalypse, I believe.
Cool.
At least, yeah.
Is it Monster Apocalypse or Riot Quest? I don't know.
He had said Monster Apocalypse.
Oh, there we go. There, definitely that. But yeah, looking really cool. I'm loving that. Again, we were talking about the white fur. This is a great example of getting that feel of white fur without actually using a stark white.
That's true.
That wonderful warmth in there, and changing the tone, like changing the amount of that sort of sepia almost in there. So the longer the hair, the longer the fur, the more of that sepia you get in there. Just so that folks know, the reason I'm not looking at the camera right now is that I'm looking at my big screen. Because
yeah, same here. I have a screen off to the side.
But so I could do it like this, but I would feel really strange.
It's okay. It doesn't. It's okay.
Yeah. But no, I think Chris has done a great job here with that. Yeah, getting that clean. It's a nice, clean, sort of warm white on that fur. Looks great. And I love particularly love the glow around the eyes.
I was going to mention that.
Yeah. Not too over the top, nice and subtle. Good work.
Matches with the tips of the hair.
Yeah.
We love it. Yeah, no, he looks great.
Good work, Chris.
David with some space with the Space Marine Librarian.
So who
I didn't
knows?
know they could read.
Oh, not all of them do.
Can they read? They can read death.
Read this. Yes, they have a whole section, and they have fighting librarians. They're very down for it. No, the librarians are the sort of the psychic arm of the Space
That's
Marine.
fantastic.
So yeah, if you're a psyker, then you can do some damage on the battlefield with your psychic abilities. You're moved into the librarians, and you get trained up. And so yeah, this is a model from Forge World, I think.
Yeah.
So a resin model, lots of very crisp detail there. You see that, and you see the glowing green eyes that the days are going on there, and then the tips of his fingers that are extended. There we go. Are starting to glow green as well, as are the runes on his legs. So you've got that whole
He's powering up
kind of thing. Yep, going on.
Gotcha.
Yep. So yeah, looking very cool.
A little bit
All those keys.
spooky.
Yeah, look at all those keys as well on the
Oh yeah.
on the belt there. Yeah, to unlock all those books that they keep chained up. But yeah,
All
looking
the
pretty cool.
secrets. Yeah, no, it's looking great. Very crisp, very clean. I like all the detail work that you've been putting in on that.
Nice one, Dave.
Chris Gorka with Ahsoka?
Ahsoka Tano,
Yeah.
Ahsoka Tano.
3D print for his Star Wars Legion gaming.
Very cool.
Yeah. It's I was glad that she showed up in The Mandalorian season 2. Spoilers.
Ah!
Mandalorian season 2. So that way I could start to learn a little bit more about her character, because I'd heard a lot about her, but never watched the Clone Wars, I think she's in.
Right.
And of course, just all the online chatter, I could absorb the information without having to actually do any work. So, but no, I think she looks great here, Chris. I think the blue, that bright blue that you've got on her tentacles, I guess I'm going to call them tentacles.
Yeah, her hair-ish thing.
There's an actual word for that, but I don't know what it is.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with tentacles. But I love that it's the blue that you use a lot on your clone troopers.
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it connects everything really
Like
nice.
it would tie really well as a... Oh, apparently it's Leku?
Yeah, that's the
Because
word.
we have some people in the chat that are saying Leku. Apparently, Sumki asks, are you excited for Ahsoka's new show?
I'm excited. I think it's going to be like, I'm not sure if they have enough with all these little spin-offs to be able to do anything super substantial without it getting lost in translation. But if they
Right.
keep them short in like little mini series that kind of all tie into each other,
Yeah.
I think that could really stand out.
Cool. Is
Like,
that on
I would prefer to
Disney
see it all
Plus?
as an anthology that ties in together than for each show to go on to have 5 seasons.
Right. It's almost like a 6-episode, like, here's what this character, like, backstory.
Yeah, because like I'm interested in the world building and all that kind of stuff they've set up. I think it's a very interesting approach to Star Wars that we haven't really seen yet. Because you're kind of seeing how the rest of the world is functioning aside from the main story. It's like if they did just like a bunch of side quests,
Yep.
that to me is super interesting.
Yeah, I see what
Personally.
you're saying.
I think we all just want to know a little bit more about the world without Skywalker.
Yeah,
We don't have to know anything else about Skywalkers. We know enough about the Skywalker.
I want to experience Star Wars like the NPCs experience Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right. That's a good
That is
way.
our preferred experience.
Yeah.
that's funny.
So I would be very interested from that angle. But I think if like the Book of Boba and Ashoka and all of these shows had like 5 seasons and Disney was like money grubbing, I don't think they would be able to keep coming up with fulfilling content.
Right.
I think it would end up feeling more like just filler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
That's fair. That's
Um,
fair. Josh Potter says, fun fact, this miniature is life-size. Ashley Eckstein is really quite tiny. Good. Good.
Look, so doing Star Wars like they're doing in the MCU? No, because that's not side quests.
That's like main quest.
I thought it was Rosario Dawson was played as Ahsoka in Mandalorian.
I don't know. I'm not the person to ask.
I'm just going to throw it down there anyway. But yep, I just want to quickly go back and say thank you to Mark D.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I missed that comment.
That's cool.
Okay. Shout out to Mark D. Thanks for your comment. I did read that.
All good.
Yes, Dave's the same. He's the same guy. He's a busy guy, so you may see him many places.
I never sleep.
In the world of mini painting. He's always mini painting.
Yeah, so continuing like race car driving.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good. Ice hockey. There's a Dave Taylor in ice hockey. It is not me. It's never been and never will be me.
Dang it.
Yes. Sorry.
Oh, Ashley is the voice on the animated.
Oh.
That's what it is.
There we go. Oh, yeah. Cool.
We got some people with the facts.
Excellent.
Cool. Next we have Graham with a wizard and anti-paladins.
Ooh.
I love the anti-paladins.
I didn't know you could be anti-paladin. It's very cute. By Demon World Miniatures.
Yep. Anti-paladins are basically the opposite of paladins.
Well, yeah.
It's not that they're.
I hope so.
It's not that they're just like anybody and they kind of don't like paladins. It's that they're the complete antithesis of paladins.
So, like, to me, he shouldn't be carrying a sword, right? Like, he's anti-paladin. He should
Yeah,
be,
if he
like...
was the complete antithesis, then instead of just being like the opposite, I worship evil things, evil religion, wouldn't he just be like, I believe in nothing but the dirt?
Well, I'm sure that they believe in that they'll be able to put those swords between all the armor joints. Plate armor, right?
Yes.
Plate armor.
Yes.
So
if paladins and anti-paladins touch, then they explode. I like to think of it more like magnets.
The batter. That's what I meant. Magnets.
They can't. It's like
they're like
every time they go to fight each other, they're just
their swords like.
Oh no, it's an opposite attract thing. An opposite attract. They get stuck.
They can't pull apart. They're like, help.
I think these are all very good Dungeons and Dragons plot lines that I think everyone should keep in their pocket for the next time they DM and someone's a paladin.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep them in my pocket of my GMing shenanigans notebook that I've never gotten to use.
You should definitely do that. Totally do that. Getting back to the miniatures, grams these are 15 millimeters in scale. So you can tell that those skulls that are on the base, which are obviously the skulls of ogres or trolls in this world, they would be from the Games Workshop Sprue of Skulls.
Okay.
That are 28 millimeter in scale. So these are huge for the 15 mils. But they look very cool. And I love that basically that wizard is awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say the blue or teal on the cloak is really nice.
Yeah.
With those three pieces together, it really like kind of makes a little environment, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Those anti-paladins really frame that wizard beautifully.
And I also like how the shield has a little bit of a gradient. Like, I'm impressed. These guys are tiny.
Yep. Yeah, definitely Graham's done a great job on these.
Yeah. Cool. And the highlight, I assume that these little letters are raised a little bit. But great.
I would guess so.
Great job on them. Really nice, clean detail work. So, same thing with that yellow line.
Yep. Those stripes looks good. Great work, Graham. Nice one.
Looking awesome. We have Jeff who I believe Jeff is in the chat. Hello.
We did see him earlier.
I love this mini because
Jeff, we have your mini.
it reminds me of the fox from Robin Hood.
Yes.
In the Disney film when he's like being a beggar.
Yep. Yeah, it definitely has that for sure. But I love that, like that orange brown is just perfect.
It really is, and the green of the hood frames it so nicely.
Yeah, definitely does.
Yeah, really great color matching to like, real life, because your brain knows immediately this is a fox, and even following like right underneath the eye color. And I can also see now that I've zoomed in, like I think you use a bit of the orange as the shadow color for the bottom of the fur. So it looks really nice.
I think because it has that sort of very realistic feel about it. It kind of you all of a sudden don't question that it's standing up in a robe and a hood with a It's like, oh no, of course. Wait, what? No. But no, it looks great, Jeff. Really nice work.
Yeah, it's true. There's something about the realism that just makes you be like, yeah, of course the fox is standing and holding with his hands.
Kitsune, is that from, I'm wondering if this is from Rising Sun.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Jeff has just said it was a sepia wash and the white under the chin.
Oh, okay, nice. It really works. I really like it.
Definitely cool. No, awesome.
Thin down. Okay.
Yep.
Josh Potter. I know Josh is in the chat with shenanigans. First round of Arthurians. And he had said that they look like the Among Us characters.
All right.
Because they're all like different colors.
It's the Green Knight. It's the Green Knight in the middle there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a full helm. He's the imposter.
Yeah. Which I appreciated. So these are by Thunderbolt Mountain Miniatures.
Yeah.
Also tied in with Rapartha. And we've been looking at each one of these each week. So they look great together as a set.
You really do.
Yeah. It is very cool to see the whole crew together.
Yeah. Whole crew. Nice job, Josh.
Yep. Taste the rainbow.
Taste the rainbow.
So my question for you, Josh, is are you leaving them on the black bases, so as display minis, or are you using them in a board game, or are you going to be texturing and painting the bases for wargaming? So many options. But yeah, looking very cool. Nice work.
Yeah, together they look very formidable.
Yep. For sure.
And we also have Cat with Red Skull for Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Does he have like, are his eyes actually glowing, or is that painting? Did he like put a little light in there, or did he just do a really, really good job with that glow effect?
I think no, she did. I think she. Yeah, I think it's. I think
it's paint.
I think it's paint. Yeah.
And it might be a little contrast on the photo.
So it looks really good
to bring that up a little bit. Oh, by the way, Dave, Josh said customer is doing the bases.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I agree. That white, that super clean, bright white is looking nice.
I think framing it with a black background as well in the photography helps that pop. But yeah, it does look great, and I love the look of the cube. The cube looks awesome. A little sort of dusting of snow. It looks like on the shoulders, but no, it looks very cool.
Yeah, super clean. It's nice, and as you said, the black framing, because I think what we're seeing is some
reflection light.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of reflection light, but there is some painted reflection or light up here as well.
So not only is this a awesomely painted mini, it's a wonderfully photographed mini.
Yeah. So good job, Kat.
Great work.
Really nice. And I know Kat has been posting in the group all the Marvel Crisis Protocol. So I'm looking forward to seeing some of the other ones that they will paint. Great job. Luca Fio with a Class 3 Firefly Transports by Gale Force 9.
Ooh.
Some good old transports.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. They look very cool. Man.
They're tiny though.
Yeah, they are tiny. Yeah, for sure. A lot of work in those.
Not sure I could paint those little guys.
Yeah, I think they're tiny, but they've got quite a lot of detail in them, like built into the sculpt.
Okay.
So I think if you're struggling a bit, washes would help. You'd be able to pick out those details. But,
gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
He's done a very cool job here of picking a lot of those out individually. And so many panel lines that to make them all look a bit different. Having that, so you can see the one in the middle at the top, at the bottom. It has those panels on the wings, like the blue and the gray,
right?
Which makes it different to the others. Even though they might have the same panel lines, they haven't been painted in that same patterning, so everything starts to look different when you pick out different panels. But really nice job there.
I like that. It's a very easy way to make the same model feel very different.
Yeah. Great work.
Which is nice. Looking good.
Oh, look up here said that this may be my last batch until I finish my cross-country move to your time zone.
Wow.
Oh.
Best of luck.
Yep. That's a long trip.
Happens. Yeah. Very long trip. We have Roger Moore with SC2M repulsor tank. Part of Return to Hoth expansion.
Very cool.
The Fantasy Flat.
Yeah. Some great carbon scoring there.
Yeah. Oh no.
Something you can definitely say every time with the Star Wars. Look at the carbon scoring on that. But no, looking very cool. I wonder if the guy had to duck for those two that are on there. But looking good. Looking very cool.
And then we have some nice scuff marks in the, or just wear.
Yep.
I think.
I mean, even though you're flying over snow all the time, it's going to take. It's going to start to strip the finish off your paint.
Gotcha.
It's just like a car that you drive. Like your cars will start to fade and lose their luster from the front.
Right.
From the first.
Not my car. My car is perfect.
My car loses luster from pollen. So
yeah,
I just need to get it all washed off. But no, looking great, Roger.
Somebody says, "Dang, salt ruining the paint."
And I bet you all of these, like, they need to go through some serious washing it when they get back on the ship.
Yeah, scrubbing.
No, scrub it all off. But looking great. Nice work, Roger.
Good night, Josh. Thanks for joining. Happy painting.
Josh.
Bye.
Have a good week painting.
Yeah.
We have Sebastian with Lord Cooper and his two dogs, Earl and Artemis.
Oh.
From Weird Games. So this be from Malifaux.
Malifaux. Yeah.
Check out those hounds. Those bloodhounds.
Nice.
Yeah. Looking very cool. I'm loving the those sort of mechanical arms as well.
Oh yeah.
There, and also like you can see the length of his arms. His arms are really quite long, so I'm guessing that one on the left is also
mechanical. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can kind of see it. The joint here, it's metal.
Yeah, but no, looking very cool there.
Loving the highlighting that you've done on those little glasses.
Yep.
Reflecting the scarf back, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it? But I love that there's so many, like, there's natural desaturated colors sort of through the rest of the paint job.
Right.
The sort of the blue blue scarf, is that more saturated blue scarf has really framed that face well.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because even though the purple like is a catching color, because it's desaturated, you automatically look at the face.
Yeah. There's a lot of sort of lighter, brighter colors at the top there as well.
Right.
But the sleeve, the shoulder of the vest there.
Yeah.
But no, this is really nice. One of the other things I love as well is the texture on the hounds.
Yeah.
Oh, they look like they have very shiny fur. They look like they need to eat a meal, but they also look like a very well-groomed dog, kind of that silky,
kind
of short,
brushed. Yeah.
short, very well-groomed fur.
Yeah. Look great. Very nice work.
Looking nice.
Yeah, great work, Sebastian.
This is last one. So interestingly, Sean asked us last week about the bases. I don't know if you remember. We were talking about
asking what colors to paint them.
Brick color or like bright green. So I believe he went with the more brick.
More brick.
And it looks like each one has kind of like an individual sewer-esque kind of vibe to it, which I really like.
Yeah, but I think that's that desaturated sort of brick red is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, I think it really ties them together.
Ties them all together, but also doesn't take away from anything on like above that.
Right.
It doesn't distract you from the miniature. The miniatures are still very much the focus.
And that lime green is still there in little tiny bits of that grading, kind of, paying homage to the whole origin story of the Ninja Turtles.
From the Turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I think, good choice there, Sean. It looks very nice.
Very great. And Sean, if you're still watching, what is this for a game? Like, is this for a board game or like a war game?
Maybe for.
I'm just wondering exactly what they're for because they're by Grebo, but I'm just wondering.
Yeah,
because I'd like to know.
I think that might have just been for fun.
Oh, okay. Might have just been for fun, you think?
Yeah.
Gary has a question.
Made them for fun. Sorry?
Okay.
Does the submission link change from week to week?
Yeah. Yes and no. So yes, in the sense that I post up in the Facebook group on Monday asking for people to submit, but you can submit anytime during the week. You can find that link in the chat, or in the description. And I've been trying to figure out, Google has been changing the access to the link. So sometimes I have links that I end up finding later on that are dead links. And so I do apologize for that, maybe if you look at a video 2 weeks from ago, the link doesn't work. And I'm trying to figure out exactly why that's the case. But I will, if you go onto our Instagram, there's a button on our link tree that says submit link, and that link always works. And I will be posting on Mondays in the Facebook group for asking for submissions. That link will definitely work. And I will be making sure throughout the week that the links that you see will be working. So sorry, Jason, that you missed this week. But I'm making an effort to make sure that always the links will work for you, no matter what time or what day you post. So,
okay. But the best idea is to check that link from a Monday post, or submit through the previous Thursday's link.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. So just keep an eye out on Facebook, and sometimes on social media. I've also been trying to give people a reminder as well to take a look at the Linktree link. So just keep an eye on that. Those are usually on Mondays that I'm asking for those. You can submit anytime, because I understand also we haven't always been getting work in progress, and I feel like I should mention that you can totally submit works in progress photos. They do not have to be finished minis. we are happy to see like where you guys are working. You know, if James wants to submit his Black Sails, Black Beauty, even though they're not done, stuff like that. We're happy to see like where you guys are painting and where you're at, because it's just fun to see like even where you are and then hopefully where you will be weeks later. It's really nice. Oh, Trevor says that Terrain Essential books looks fantastic. It's a great book. You should check it out. And then also check out Dave's Kickstarter tomorrow because it will also look great. But thank you to everyone who was able to post this week and figure that all out. Thanks for working with me as we kind of try and have a new little schedule and submission. I like knowing where the minis are from, and I'm not as expert in mini knowledge. So it's really helpful when I can get some info that you guys put down beforehand. So if you're interested in us looking at your minis or learning more about mini painting or just joining a painting community, make sure you check out our Facebook page and our Facebook group. You can join that and post there throughout the week, and then also be checking out our social media and a post in the group for the forms link that then you can submit to have your minis shown and talked about on Painting Happy Little Minis.
On the show. Great.
Yeah.
What's the name of our group?
The name of our group is Painting Happy Little Minis. So type in Painting Happy and it should come up as the first group. I have been thinking about starting a Discord, and I know I said this like a couple weeks ago, but I haven't set up, but I haven't started it yet. So we'll see. Right now we do everything through Facebook. And if you want to talk to us not on Facebook, feel free to follow Game Trade Media. I'm in charge of all that social media. So if you tag us, we will see it, and we can also put it on the show. So even if you're not on Facebook, you can still submit to that forms link, and we'll talk about it on the show. So just so you guys are aware.
Cool. Sean says that he thinks they were for Blood Bowl. So Grebo, I think, is a company out of Spain, and they do a lot of sort of third party, what do you call it? Teams.
Yeah.
Additional teams for Blood Bowl. But yes, if he bought them for a mutant faction for a game called This Is Not a Test. My buddy Joey wrote This Is Not a Test. Right. And I do all of Joey's photography and layout. So I did the layout for the book. This Is Not a Test.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Definitely cool. But unfortunately, Sean says he doesn't think they're for sale anymore. That's probably
What?
But look how he says, see you guys on Twitter too.
Yes, we are on Twitter. We're
everywhere.
Except not on TikTok.
We're not hip enough.
It's okay. Someone was just asking me about that the other day because they were asking me about my job, and they were like, "Oh, do you do stuff for TikTok?" And I was like, "Not yet."
I keep having people ask me if I'm gonna do the TikTok stuff.
I know it's really popular, and there's a lot of like cool things on TikTok. You can totally find your community. It's more that like on our end of things, it's having content that we could film for TikTok. I think would be, I don't want to just put clips of like Painting Happy Little Minis on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like blooper reels.
Yeah. We could put blooper reels.
I feel like it'd just be more like, I feel like it's all like quippy little short content on TikTok. Quite a few of the swords people there's a few of them that do TikTok stuff that's really funny, but
yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's like, as long as if you take the time to think about, like to brainstorm a bunch of ideas and plan a bunch of content, that could be really good.
Yeah.
But we don't really have that time available to us.
Because we don't really do brainstorming here. We just do.
That's true.
Some Key says you have a sing command on Twitch. You can just sing on TikTok about minis.
Yeah.
There you go. I need to just sing about minis.
I was a guest on a Twitch live stream on Sunday night.
Yeah.
More Than Dice.
Cool.
And one of the hosts, Gonzo, he like at some point apparently he accidentally turned his camera upside down.
Oh gosh.
So he was upside down on the thing, but they decided that if people spend their Twitch points on that, and once they get to a certain level, he will flip his camera back around the right way for the rest of the show.
Okay.
But only when people spend it on that. So
did enough people
not
their...
I was on. No, so it was very disconcerting the entire time.
So he was just upside down.
Upside down. Yep. I mean, in real life, he was the right way up, so it didn't bother him at all.
Right.
The whole show on with a headstand.
Yeah.
That'd be very difficult.
That'd be something my daughter Lucy would do.
I would pass out. That would be too much blood in my brain. Look at you. You guys are too cool for TikTok. I think when TikTok first started happening, I joked like once to my youngest brother about it. And I got like a deadpan face of just
Yeah.
But that's because I've gone through the motions of being like super cool to super embarrassing. And
to your brother?
Yeah. Well, we're 10 years apart.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And now like I've jumped back around to maybe okay.
Oh.
Now that he's 20, you know, maybe I'm acceptable.
Yeah. Excellent. There we go.
Oh, nice.
The purple's coming along. I thought it'd be more fun to actually go in and work on the purple than to go through and paint everything else black. But now I'm almost at that point where I have to start on the blacks. Should be fine.
I'm trying to do these white lines, and I'm really just need a smaller brush.
Yeah.
I have accepted that there's just so much detail. But it's coming along. It's coming along. Not that you can tell, but those black areas are now closer to being brown areas that coordinate with his belt, because we might be a frost giant, but we're fashion.
I like that.
Well, I think keeping to only a select few colors, like I said, is going to keep me from getting too busy.
Okay.
Because I don't want it to be your eye going everywhere.
Right.
But hopefully I will soon be done with all of the blocking in of all the colors.
Cool. That's good.
Then maybe I can get the base from you before I have to finish them.
Will my camera work like Dave's?
Yeah.
No, it won't.
No. You guys got to get one of those ring lights. See, it's reflecting my glasses there.
I had a ring light. Want to know what happened to it? I went from being well lit for all of these things.
Your cat hit
it? Jumped through it.
Oh.
Yeah, like through it, like a little lion. And then it crashed because he's not graceful.
Nor little.
The ring light's like this big. He swoop.
That's actually my mini. That's actually very sad.
It is.
And I am sorry that your cat is dumb.
He's a little bit of a mess, but that's okay.
Love them all the same.
All of my animals are a little mess.
That's cool. Okay.
I'm bringing up a photo of my mini. So there's that.
But sure, I need to throw it out there. Lucafio says, nothing beats OG MySpace, though. LOL. Just kidding.
At one point, I can't remember when, I looked up my OG MySpace once.
Oh boy.
From middle school.
Wow.
Or was it fresh? I think it was, it was middle school. And that was a moment.
I'm sure, yeah.
A good moment.
Yeah. Yes.
A moment.
Good.
Just a moment.
In time.
Not good, not bad, just a moment.
For a moment.
Yeah, I was no longer in a band when MySpace started, so I never put a page together.
Dang, I really thought this picture was better.
Yeah.
Now it's just blurry.
We can all take our glasses off.
It's okay. I'm not going to show
wearing
it.
Glasses.
I'm not going to show it because I'm embarrassed. I'm
These are just
embarrassed.
blurry anyways. It's fine.
I'm embarrassed with how bad it is.
You can act your way through that. Huh? Just pretend you're taking the glasses off.
That's what we have to do for every mini now that we look on the show.
No.
Dave wasn't into that newfangled MySpace. Nope.
No.
Nope.
There's a curve. There's like a bell curve of like when people adopt new technology, and there's like the early adopters, and then the next group, and it goes up to the top, and then it comes down the other side, and then there's people who will never adopt technology. I'm not all the way down the bottom of that slope, but I'm over the crest.
Right.
Yeah. So it takes a while for me to jump in.
To get on board.
Yeah.
That's fair. That is fair.
So, oh, there we go. The one of the things that I did with all of these guys is they have in different parts of them they have little tubes.
Okay.
On them, and so like for example, this tube here.
Right. Okay.
Runs from the backpack to like an exhaust stack. They're kind of like normally you'd probably expect to see them in an industrial black sort of rubberized kind of casing. But because these guys are Death Guard and they're all about sort of disgusting sort of putrescence and that kind of thing, I always paint them up using the Volupus pink contrast paint.
Nice.
So they get that disgusting sort of damaged fleshy color.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna paint them like neat, like yellow.
For the ones that I did for me, I did paint yellow because
nice.
Like a dark armor. So, but because these ones are against a white ivory armor.
Gotcha.
That going with that.
Something's wrong with those tubes.
No.
They're definitely not filtering the air.
The tubes are a little bit sick. So that's always a fun one. They just look disgusting as well.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. So we got this guy here. He's got it'll be fun when I get to him. On his chest plate, he has like 3 big boils.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Listing through. So I'll start with pink on those, and then I'll highlight it up with yellows and bring it up to that almost up to white as well.
I don't like how they look nasty. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't like that.
Well, I would suggest then if you ever start playing 40k, don't use the Death Guard.
I like the elven ones.
Radio. There you go. If
I played 40k, I would definitely do that.
Right.
Clan? Are they clans?
Are you talking about the Eldar or the Dark Eldar or?
Yeah, the Eldar.
craft worlds. Is how they're organized.
Okay.
So they have these enormous ships that glide through space, known as craft worlds, and they're just like massive ships, and like the size of like Manhattan.
Oh wow.
Thing, maybe larger. But yeah, and then all the troops pulled from that, from the population of that ship.
You can do some nice bright colors with them.
Yeah, definitely. We can do some nice bright colors with these guys too.
Putrid colors.
Disgusting. Telling you, worth checking out.
Not the kind of colors.
There we go. There's one of them.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wow. You're right. Yeah.
And more kind of like an intestine kind of color.
Yeah, you're kind of like, ooh, is it a body part? Ooh.
Yeah. Definitely fun though. I'm going to use it on the nurgling on his back as well. But the cool thing with this particular contrast paint is it's just so nice and bright, but it has a lot of if you thin it down a little bit, you end up with a lot of contrast between the highlights and the shading. This one particular one has a lot of pigment in it.
So are you just only using that contrast and just thinning it down?
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
And for some of the characters, that kind of thing, I might go back and mix a little bit of white or ivory into that contrast to get a highlight color.
Okay. But for the most part, you're just using that one paint.
Yeah.
That's convenient.
Yeah, you get quite a lot of there we go.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's just like one layer of the contrast paint over it. And that little guy. Looks quite nicely. Quite nice. All good. Oh, Jane says he's waiting for new glasses. I'm at the point where I think I should probably go back and get my eyes checked again. How often do they say to do it?
Oh, I have no idea. I know I'm overdue for that though.
They say every 2 years, every year. It's between those.
But not every 4 years, right?
Not every 4 years. Yeah, probably not. Probably not that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 4 years.
Your eyes have definitely.
I'm at like 15.
Yeah,
Ooh.
you probably want to check that.
Get that all settled.
Cool. Excellent. That would be good. What's my next step? Okay.
So we're coming up to the close of our episode. What were you able to paint, Gretchen?
I was able to get almost all of his bracers blocked in. So, we've said before how just crazy detailed is in those bracers. There's tons of weaponry hidden in. I'm blocking it in silver because then I can see it.
Okay.
I can dull the silver down with pretty much anything and then be able to pick it out and, make it look banged up or darken it even more if I want to. But just for the sake of easily being able to find all of the metal bits while I do the other details, I'm doing it silver. So you can see there just how many weapons are just in that one arm.
Right.
Yeah, wow.
And that has not nearly as much as his shins. So this side is pretty much done. It looks black with this lighting, but it's actually just brown. It matches the brown in his belt and his beard. And what I'm going to do with that is there's some skulls right here that I need to paint. And then I'm going to use the same shade of red for his cloak for that rope, just so that there's a little bit of color being brought in there and it's not all just shades of brown.
Yeah.
And then for this side, there's the rest of this kind of mace that I need to paint. And then that just needs the rope painted and all the base work for his shin guards, for his bracers will be done. And then for his shin guards and that little, I guess, ankle-y thing, this very sad little sword,
Oh, no.
which is a little bent. All the leather is done. All of the hides have the base color down. So now I'm going to go through. I'm going to pick out all the parts that are supposed to be metal after I find them. I'm probably going to find more. And then I'll do the rope on that again. I'm trying to save the rope for last because there's so much peeking out from behind the rope that I don't want to paint it first and then have to touch up a crazy amount.
Yeah.
Especially with that fur texture. That's peeking up from in between everything. So that's why I went ahead and did that first.
Gotcha.
And then I'll go through and lightly detail the things I want detailed, highlight the things I want highlighted, pick out the things that I want more detail, like that deer. I also want to, do more detail on some of the shields that he has, on those two little heads from whatever he murdered. And then probably
so sad.
and then probably one or two of the larger weapons that are around his legs. And then from there, I'll add snow.
Yay!
Maybe a little bit of blood from the places in his shin. I don't know if I want to do blood per se, because I look at his blood frozen. Like maybe do I just add more frost, or do I think the bright red will contrast really well? I'm not too sure. If you have a particular one you like more than the other, actual red blood, like fresh blood, or just more frost bleeding out through the wounds, put that in the chat.
Let us know.
Let me know. Because he definitely has quite a few places where he's wounded. But that's the game plan. And then probably one more episode. Yeah, one more episode and then he'd be done.
Yay.
Mr.
Giant is done.
Yeah, I think that some of those wounds would probably be fresh blood, but because and I don't think it would be frost sort of leaking out of it. I think because you've got those areas on like around the knuckles and the knees and those sort of things that you'd have that red blood. But for some reason I think it would be really like very dark. Like a very deep red. That I'd probably go with that. But I also wouldn't have a lot of flowing blood. It would be actually coming out of him very reluctantly, like sap out of a tree in the middle of winter kind of thing.
Right.
That would be my suggestion.
Like it's almost like it's drying right away as it hits the air because it is so cold.
Like crystallizing almost.
Yeah, it's frozen when it like as it comes out, it freezes kind of thing. Yeah.
That would be really cool. I don't know how I would paint that visual effect. Because I feel like it would turn almost pinkish.
Possibly. Yeah, I'm not sure.
JT said, I vote glistening blood, but make it look like it's frozen. So maybe just red, but then having glaze on top of it?
Possibly. You could either do some, if you can build it up in a shape, like a blood leaking kind of shape, a blood drop shape. It's very tiny, but one or two areas where you can actually then go and stipple it a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, it's a large mini, so we've got a little bit of
palette space.
Yeah, a little bit of palate space, and the places where he has the most wounds, he has 2 shin wounds here.
Yep.
So that's definitely plenty of space to figure out what to do with blood, whether or not it's listening to the rules of gravity or freezing or anything like that. And then right here, he's been axed in the right below the pec, it looks like. So he has that one. I think that's all the major wounds. I'm probably missing one. Who knows? He has a bunch of little scars that I need to go and pick out with a very light, kind of pinkish tan color too.
Yeah, I think I'd leave the axe. Imagine the axe as an older wound, but the ones in the shin might be the fresh, the recent ones.
Well, and that being said, are we going to complete the story? Should I have fresh blood dripping from the heads around his waist? If those wounds are fresh, does that mean those 2 heads are fresh?
Oh, that's not a bad story. Yeah. Ooh.
Do we add a little bit of a narrative element to the wounds that we're watching?
That's cool. I like that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how that guy turns out and how he's gonna all come together.
So far,
so
I'm really
detailed.
liking how all the color schemes are kind of pooling together, because I thought with that bright blue of the skin that it was going to be a little too much, but because everything else that I'm doing is desaturated, I think it's going to pool together nicely.
Yeah.
Really tone it down and really have that kind of frosty vibe to it.
Yeah.
JT says, I like the idea. Do it.
For sure.
I'm gonna show a picture of my cloak that I did.
Yep.
That I painted throughout this episode.
Cool.
The one part of my mini that I'm proud of.
Oh, that looks great. No, don't let it be the one part.
Soon it will be the other parts. I realize that it's a lot easier to paint this part of my mini.
That looks great.
As opposed to the armor. As much as Dave gave me good suggestions, I was like, I'm actually really bad at that.
Well, it's a very different. You're working at like 2 different things. You're working through highlights and shadows. There's kind of the normal sort of thing, but when you're also using highlights and shadows to create a metallic look, it's very different.
Yeah.
To working on, obviously it's highlights and shadows, but it's on fabric. It's more.
It's a little easier to imagine how that would look.
Yeah. In
real life. So he has a blue cloak.
It looks very cool.
Yay. He did it. And by he, I mean me.
You did it. Excellent.
I actually used the techniques of highlighting and shadowing. Good job. I'm learning.
Your 5th grade art teacher knew it would come in handy.
I'm learning, guys.
Some people call that reverse highlighting. Those people are silly. Yeah, definitely looking good. Do you have that other photo that I sent you, Leona?
I do.
Trolls?
Yes.
Cool.
Here we go.
So I sent this to Leona. These are the guys that I was working on last week.
Oh wow, yeah, these look awesome.
So yeah, they're all. Those 3 guys are done now, and you can see the crystals up in that rock.
Yes. Very good.
And the sort of the goblin upside down, hanging upside down there. Yeah, you can zoom on him a little bit. Zoom on that hand.
This one?
Yeah. So he's kind of what he's there isn't just sort of hanging meekly. He's pushing and he's like trying to pull the troll's hands apart.
Oh no!
I like how shocked the one he looks though.
Yeah.
Like the one holding him up just looks so shocked that this little tiny guy would even try.
Yep. Why are you running? Yes.
I like the brick color that you've put on, or the brownish color that
Right.
you've put on the tops of this, of their heads and everything.
Yeah. That's
giving it some nice texture. It might even be purpley. I don't know, or
no,
red.
it's brown mixed in with the blue for the base coat.
Oh, okay.
So, but it's using rhinox hide, which has got quite a bit of red in it. So when it mixed with the blue, it gives it that purplish brown kind of look. But yeah, it works great as that base coat, and I've done some dry brushing over it, so it's given that that gray over the top of it. Looks it's quite cool. One thing you can't quite see there is we were talking about Leona's deer. Not Leona's deer. Gretchen's deer. Gretchen, your deer from the back of the design.
Nope, sorry.
Okay.
Ah!
He has a goat slung over his shoulder. I just went with a very simple sort of light gray goat.
Yeah.
It fits. It fits with the color schemes.
Yeah, it stands out against the dark blue.
I tried to go with a color scheme that kind of vaguely reminded me of reindeer.
Yeah. I just went with a very simple color scheme.
Yeah.
Dressed well. But yeah.
Good stuff. Well, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you to Dave and Gretchen for hanging in there, painting along with everyone. Thanks for painting, everyone at home. Make sure that you are following us on social media and also staying up to date with what's going on in painting Happy Little Minis community by joining our Facebook group and also submitting to the forms, which be sure to look out on social media, and also in the Facebook group, I will be making weekly posts about that.
Yeah.
So yes, have toodles until next week. Yes, good night. Adieu. We will see you guys. Au revoir.
Go through the whole song, Leona.
Yeah, I know. So long.
Oh, Cat just made it.
No, Cat. Hi and bye. We miss you, Kat. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Be sure to check us out next week. Same place, same time, Painting Happy Little Minis. And we will be here in Hobby Hangout format. So make sure you grab your paints and you get ready. Thursday, join us. All right. And be sure to keep an eye out for Dave's Kickstarter that he's going to be launching tomorrow.
The art of.
Good stuff. Keep eyes out for it. Opened. All right, guys. See you all next week.
Bye.